welcome to another lesson of Mrs. Patnell's Phonics. This is lesson 2 of this week. Yesterday we looked at our new phase 5 sound of A, made with an A and a Y, or if we're using their names, an A and a Y. Today we're going to move on and look at another new phase 5 sound as well. As we start with every lesson, I'm going to go through our flashcards so we don't forget those phase 3 sounds. Oh, there's my memory card. I'll bring them a little closer. As I mentioned yesterday, they're a bit smaller. I'll go quite fast, so call out to the camera. Ow. Ooh. A. Ch. Y. J. Oi. R. E. Sh. Z. V. Ear. O. I. Or the louder th. Z. W. Air. O. N. Qu. X. But mostly y. And then yesterday's new phase 5 sound, A. So I'll pop those with that. And then we're going to move on to another new sound today. But before we do that, let's have a little practice at writing some of the digraphs from phase 3 that we already know. So let's have a go at writing the... Well, let's have a go at phase 2 sound actually, which is the K sound, but the one that comes mostly at the ends of words or the ends of syllables. Remember that a syllable is a beat in a word, okay? So if we had rock it, at the end of the first syllable, rock is the K sound. So let's have a go at writing that one. Now remember, it's a digraph, so it's the K sound that has 2 letters making the one sound. Imagine you can remember what they are. Can you also remember what order they go in? Okay, so the K sound. Have a go at writing it on your board and show it to your adult at home. I'm going to write it on mine as well. And then flash it to the camera. The K sound that comes at the ends of words or the ends of syllables. Okay, now I want you to have a go at writing the or oo sound. Or oo sound. Just going to have a little rub out here with my special pen with a rubber on the end. Ooh. How do we make that one? A nice easy digraph, for it's made up of the same letter twice. Ooh. Now remember, if you don't write cursive in your class, you won't want the flicks going onto my letters or the little arms coming out of them. You'll just do it as you normally do. But there's our or oo sound. Short or long oo. Now can we have a go at revisiting the oi sound? Oi, ship ahoy, as we say in my classroom. The oi sound. What are the 2 letters that make the oi sound? Pause the video if you want time to think about it, as I would like you to do, rather than just wait to see what I've written. And then have a really good think. It is in that memory. We've just gone through it. It was one of those sounds there. How do we make the oi sound? Maybe you can only remember one of the letters, but that's a good start. Okay, I'm going to flash it now. The oi sound looks like this. There's our oi sound. Well done if you wrote that. Okay, that's enough of revisiting how to write sounds. Now we're going to have a go at having a look at our new sound. Our new phase 5 sound of the day. So, I have it just here. I'm going to bring it closer to the camera. Here it is. It is made with an O and an A. Okay, if we're using their names, an O and a letter U if we're using their names. Now, when you see these two together, so if you're going on to read higher grade books, in my class they're like yellow and blue coloured stage books. If you're going on to read these, you will see this sound popping up in there because it's phase 5 sounds. And this, or an together, makes a sound we have heard before. This makes an ow sound. Now, we've seen owl previously with an and a w, or an o and a w. But you can also make the same owl sound with an and an okay? So when you read it, this will make an owl sound like we've been used to seeing with an and a w, or an o and a w. Okay, so this new sound is our owl sound. Now I want you to have a go at taking your magic finger, and I want you to have a go at writing it in the air, okay? I'm going to leave it here so you can use the screen if you want to write over it. It's a bit windy. So you take your magic finger, and if you're in my class you will cursively whoosh, so I'll add that on, but obviously these ones don't have the cursive whoosh on. So I'm going to go up to my round the other way and do a little arm to finish. Remember, if you don't do cursive, stick with what you know. With my I'm going to cursively whoosh up, big smiley mouth, down and a flick. So that's what you need to do in the air with your magic finger. Take your magic finger and have a go at writing it on the table or on the carpet or on someone's back if you've got someone there who's willing to have you write the new ow sound on their back. So an followed by an You know how to write both of them, just that when you see them together, you now need to know they make the ow sound. Okay, another ow sound. Right. I'm going to rest that up against my cup there, my owl sounds. There it is. So, we're going to have a go now at doing some treasure chest words, okay? I don't have my treasure chest and bin with me because they are busy at school at the moment. And you have to excuse my coins today because they're all white and not golden. So I need to print some more coins off. But if I bring these forward for you, so I've got a little batch here. Now they will, and this is a clue for you, all contain the owl sound, okay? A new phase 5 owl sound made with an and an will all be in these words. To help you out, I've underlined them as a digraph. So when you see them, don't go when you're blending. Remember, they are together now. When they are together, making the owl sound. If you see them separately, not with one another, then they're still and But when they're together, written together in a word, they make the owl sound just like and w. Okay? So, let's bring these a little closer to the camera. So, coin number 1. Okay, and I'm going to put real words over on this side and rubbish words over on this side. So, real word number 1 is this one. Okay, you can see my digraph underlined. So I've got the initial sound, my digraph, and then 2 single sounds after that. Okay, so you can pause this video and read it by yourself first and then blend it and make sure you know what it means. But I'm going to go through it now. I've got the new sound of the day, and up, making the ow sound, then a then a d, found, found. It's found. Real or rubbish? Found is real. I found my shoes in the cupboard. Okay, let's take a look at this one. I've underlined the sound of the day for you again. Remember, Anna makes the ow sound as well. So, we've got first letter is a p. Second letter is an oo. Third digraph is an ow sound of the day. And the last one is a t. Just got to see I'm reading that right through the other side. So, close together those 2 consonant sounds, making a pl sound. Pl, out, plout. Plout, real or rubbish? It's a rubbish word. That can go on that side of the table. Okay, this one here. Pause the video now if you want to read it yourself, and I would like you to. Otherwise, we're going to do it together now. 2 consonant sounds really close together at the beginning again. K and making a kind of cl sound. Cl. They're so close. So cl, oud, cloud, 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 cloud. Real or rubbish? It's real, of course. We know the word cloud. Those fluffy white things in our sky. What is this one? Pause the video, have a blend to read. I'm going to go through it with you now. Let's check this time. So we've got first sound, oo. Then we've got our sound of the day, which makes what sound? Ow. Then we've got two close together consonant sounds on the end. Nd. Lound. 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 Rhymes with sound, but the word is lound. Real or rubbish? I've never heard of lound, so I'm going with rubbish. Let's pop that on that side of the table. Okay, here's another one. It's a little bit squeezed in at the end, but that is a t at the end, okay, after our sound of the day. So have a look at this coin. Pause the video. Now we're going to go for it together. Two very close consonant sounds at the beginning. S and t. Just check that. S and t. Make it a kind of st, st, st. So st, r. Sound of the day, ow, and t on the end. St, strout, strout. Strout, real or rubbish? Strout, never heard of it before. That's a rubbish word. Okay, rubbish is winning at the moment. It's got 3 and only 2 on the real sound side. Let's try this one. Pause the video. But now we're going to do it together, okay? So we've got our first sound, a. Second sound, b. Sound of the day, ow sound. And then the last sound on the end, t. Out, out. About, about. Real or rubbish? About is a real word. There we go. So let's put that on the real side of the table. And now I've got this one. Pause the video. Have a look at this one. Now we're going to do it together. Okay. We have got 2 syllables here. The first syllable are the first 2 letters. Ag. Ag. And then I've got sound of the day, ow, nd. I haven't got enough hands for this, have I? Ag, ow, nd. No, I need my other hands. 6 sounds. Ag, ow, nd. Aglound. Aglound. Oh my goodness me. Real or rubbish? Aglound. It's a rubbish word. Pop that in the bin on that side. Last one. So far there's 4 rubbish and 3 real. Let's have a look at this one. Pause the video. Okay, let's do it together. 2 consonant sounds very close together, which we learnt to read when we were doing phase 4 during our lockdown. So we got sp, sp, sp. Then a r, sp, r. Sound of the day, ow, sp, r, out. Sprout, 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 like a Brussels sprout. So real or rubbish? It's real sprout. Let's put sprout on the side of the real words. Fantastic work today on those. So this is really helping. Now that I've just shown you the new owl sound, this is really going to help to cement it in, that you're going to start recognising it. Doing our buried treasure there really helps you. Every time you see ot and ah together, think ow from now on, okay? Right, so we're going to go on to have a little read of some sentences. We're going to start with my shortest one of the 2. So I'm going to bring this over. 2 to read and then 1 to write at the end, okay? So here is your first sentence, okay? Pause the video so you can have a read on your own, which I'd really like you to do, because now I'm going to go through this with you, okay? So we have, nice easy one. Remember, if you can blend in your head and just say it out loud, then that's fantastic, because at this point it's been really good to be doing that, to be going into year 1. But I'm going to do it as a blending way with you, but feel free at home to think the sounds in your head and then just say it as a whole word, okay? So, can, a, good old common exception word, a. And then, we might recognise this word from buried treasure just now. Sp, sp, r, ow, sound of the day, out. Sprout, sprout. Can a sprout, common exception word, be, sound of the day, proud, proud, proud. Can a sprout be proud? What's his punctuation? It is a question mark, which means this sentence is a question, which needs an answer. Can let a sprout be proud? Proud means when you're really pleased, maybe with yourself or something you've done. So can a Brussels sprout be proud of itself? I think not. But it's a shame because there's some really big tasty ones out there, and it's a shame that a sprout cannot be proud of itself. Right, let's have a look at our next sentence. Here it is. Slightly longer this one, but don't be put off because you can read every word in this sentence. So pause the video on the screen so you can read it. And now we're going to go through it together. Remember, if you can blend in your head and then just say the word as a whole, much better. Okay, it'll be really improving, and it'll be really nice when you read to your parents at home if you can read like that, because it's a lot easier than the blending sounding. Okay, but if we're still at blending, that's absolutely fine because this is how we learn to read. I'm going to blend it. Okay, so will. This one here is a common exception word, so we should recognise it. This is helping you. This is making an oo sound. You. Will you see cl sound of the day? Ow. Clouds. Let's go back to the beginning. Will you see clouds in common exception word we all know, this is a 2-syllable word. Let's tackle the first syllable first, so just before the we're going to tackle that. So we've got sound of the day, which is ow, ow, mown, and then second syllable, which is from the t onwards, mountains, mountains. Will you see clouds in the mountains? And we have this punctuation again, a question mark. So we know it's a question that needs an answer. Will you see clouds in the mountains? I imagine you will. Maybe you're up so high you're looking down on the clouds. But I imagine you would see clouds in the mountains. Just point out lovely finger spaces between each word here to make it easy to read, and a capital letter at the beginning of the sentence. Okay? Right, so I'm going to get you to write a sentence now at home on your whiteboard or on paper, whatever, it doesn't matter. I want you to remember your capital letters at the beginning. I want you to remember your finger spaces, and how do you punctuate it to say you finished that sentence, okay? Now, this is the sentence I want you to have a go writing at home. It is, what is the loudest sound around? So it actually rhymes a bit at the end because I'm really getting in the ow sound of the day. So remember, made with an o and an up. You're going to need it a lot in this sentence, in 3 words in fact. What is the loudest sound around? So maybe get an adult to write this sentence down for you so that you can do it over time when this video has finished. What is the loudest sound around? And then think how you're going to punctuate it. Use your phone in flicky fingers. Think what sounds you can hear, how many you can hear, so you know when you've got all of them and you've spelt it correctly. Think of the common exception words that are in there and how do you write them. And anything else I need to remind you to do. Show it to an adult at the end to see how fabulous it is. Maybe if you want to write the whole sentence, you could pick some words out. Maybe you could try sound. You could try around. They will be good ones to try. If you can't hear all the sounds, get an adult to help you fill them in. Definitely hear those first initial sounds. Try for a few more, but an adults might need to help you by filling a few in, okay? And I will see you again tomorrow for another phonics lesson this week. Good to see you back.